Hello, hello, hello. We are live. It is 7 o'clock on the dot.
Hey, my healing potion just finished brewing.
Your healing potion just what is that? Is this
Harry Potter Wizards Unite?
I figured it was Harry Potter again. Here in lovely Beachview, ready to. It's light out. This is new. You can caller, turn down your radio. That's me. I'm the caller. Bringing up my document. Are you ready to get awesome, sir?
I am ready and willing.
Oh, good. I'm ready but unwilling.
Oh, no.
Did you podcast under duress?
My internet disconnected.
Your internet disconnected. Which are you on the pit mesh?
Yes, it's reconnecting.
Okay.
It's connected and open.
Connected and open. Is it willing? But unwilling, apparently.
It's willing.
All right. Let's see. There's my shot. There's my doc. There's you. Do I have a name for you?
Here I am.
Here I am.
There I go.
Again on my own.
See Chilla Podcast. Podcast Chilla Podcast.
Podcast Chilla Podcast. All right. Let's do this. Producer Missy, are you prepared? That look? Yes. What? Did you see my text message? You have a text message? Oh, jeez.
She's curing viruses over there.
I may be napping over here. Sleepy producer.
But when does Westworld start?
Very soon.
Start this week?
Very soon. Oh, let me tell you about the shows I'm watching on Netflix at some point.
I'll tell you what, Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
I've seen the first season.
We just started watching it.
It's not what I expected.
I'm oddly attached.
Yeah, okay.
Well, Carla started watching it, and I probably came in at like, I'm guessing episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, I don't want to put it down.
Mm-hmm. I have been watching basically every superhero related show that they have, because they have I'm Not Okay With This, which is a teenager that apparently discovers she has superpowers. That's a nice like 20-minute 7-episode thing. And I
7 episodes in 20 minutes, or
20 minutes each.
All right.
So it's a quick watch. And also this one executive produced by Michael B. Jordan, and he's in it a bit, is Raising Dion, about a mother that's raising her kid that seems to have powers. I'm about 6 or 7 episodes into that one. That's more of a 45 minute show. And a lot of the titles are very comic book referenced. So it's like you'll recognize those if you look through the titles of the episodes. It's pretty good. So that's my watching on the plane in my hotel room watch list for the past week. So this is definitely where I dive interestingly into my playlist. But no, so much so that the Raising Dion, it's a very like, both of them are made by Netflix, and obviously it seems like Netflix is going towards a superpower Stranger Things kind of aspect with a lot of the shows.
Maybe they can do a team up.
There's even at a point in like the first or second episode of Raising Dion where the guy wakes up to a Stranger Things ringtone on his phone.
Oh,
like
I smell a crossover.
It's just like an acknowledgement. Just like, no, yeah, we live in a world where Stranger Things is a thing, and we're just gonna throw that in here.
Is it a TV show or is it a thing? Like, that would be the interesting part. Are they in a world where
Stranger Things is a TV show?
Stranger Things is a TV show, or are they?
It's quote superhero. Like the kid's like 8 years old, so it says superhero. Like they're training. Like the guy is like the Godfather is trying to help him figure out his powers, and he's literally referencing comic books to do it. And he's just like, well, these guys have figured it out. So like, you need a Yoda, you need a, you need a sidekick or whatever, right? So, but again, it's an 8-year-old dealing with 8-year-old things, and happens to be able to move stuff with his mind and teleport and things like that. So. It's interesting, and I'm finally getting to the point where they're starting to kind of figure out why he has powers and what happened to his dad and all this stuff, and it's very Stranger Things in that aspect. So, anyways, anything else you watching since we're apparently doing a Patreon extra now?
I think that's. So I'm so far behind on my like CW shows. And I'm trying to. No, I think it's just Sabrina. I honestly didn't make it through all of Stranger Things, and I have even Orange is the New Black. There's so much content.
Yesterday. Have you watched Yesterday? It's on HBO.
Oh, that's the Beatles.
That's the Beatles Don't Exist.
That's one of the ones I want to watch.
Go watch that, and there's some extra stuff. Like, it's funny because, spoiler alert, it's not just the Beatles.
Like Coke didn't get invented or something,
like
right?
Coke, and there's like other random like bands and other things.
Okay.
Like there's a point, spoiler, but halfway through the movie, he's like, "Oh, I need a cigarette," and somebody's like, "What's a cigarette?"
Yeah. Okay.
So
someone saw it on the plane back from Redmond right after Thanksgiving, and I wish they would have had it on my plane, but they didn't. But yeah, that was one I would definitely. Carla wanted to see that in the theater, and we never made it.
Other than that, it's like a lot of watching. I'm watching back a lot of like, put on the original Iron Man and stuff like that. So just kind of rewatching that, Into the Spider-Verse, just those comfort movies a little bit.
Yeah, like those have just become like either comfort or I don't really. I want to be able to pay half attention or watch my favorite scene, pay attention during my favorite scenes, but I'm doing something else.
The throw it on the background because it's so stupid that you can just deal with it. That was Always Sunny had been thrown on for a couple weeks, and I got through like 3 or 4 seasons. I think I had stopped watching in like season 4, and they're like at 13 now, something ridiculous like that. So, and again, it's an easy watch. You don't have to worry about it. We happen to have Hulu again because of reasons, so why not?
We picked up a lot of TV shows like The Rookie. I don't know if you watched The Rookie. That's a good one.
So I feel like there's another random movie on Netflix that I watched recently too.
The Rookie's a TV show. Then there's the, I can't remember what it is, something Moms. Like we unfortunately watch a lot of TV.
Yeah. Remember when superhero shows were like a special thing and not just like another show?
Like on every night of the week?
Yeah, every night of the week. I haven't finished Runaways. You have to be in the right mode for that because it's really kind of a low-key show. I want to get caught up on Cloak and Dagger, but it's such a teen drama sometimes. But, all those are over on... I'm waiting for them to kind of pop up on Disney. Oh, Disney, I watched something the other day. Maybe I'm thinking Iron Man.
Star Wars Rebels? Something came back or something.
Clone Wars came back, but I'm not caught up. And once again, it's like I can't get through those early seasons of Clone Wars to get into One Strange Rock is on Disney. Narrated by, did I not talk about this last week? Narrated by Will Smith.
Oh.
And they interview astronauts that have been up there. And I don't think I even finished it. Oh no, I'm into the second episode actually. And it's a lot of like stuff from that perspective. And it covers like, hey, we're going to talk about storms, we're going to talk about the persistence of water and things like that. But it's done in a really cool it's of course a National Geographic kind of thing.
I still haven't got to watch C, which I really want to watch that.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
Apple TV. There's just too much content and not enough time.
And Westworld's coming up. I'm not even going to start watching Westworld until halfway through the season.
Oh, I'll start watching that immediately because I'm addicted.
I can't because the way they do the time stuff, no.
You get too confused?
Yes. I have to watch it. I don't remember enough week to week to get through it. Like I can't. Watchmen I had to do back to back too.
I was a late bloomer on the first season of Westworld.
I was too.
But I'll tell you what, as soon as I started I was like 6 episodes behind or something, and I just started.
So I watched Iron Man, and they suggest everything with Iron Man in it. Like every series that has Iron Man, every cartoon that he did, and then it just starts listing the Avengers. This is great.
When did you see the new trailer for Black Widow?
No, it's in my email, and I haven't had a chance to pull it up yet. No, is it good? Is there?
It looks
yeah
fun.
I mean, it's generally looked good, so yeah.
That's not far away. That's a couple months.
Anyways, we should probably get into
the show.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right. Hey guys, it's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast episode 485. I'm Mike Sorgatron on the Twitter in the wonderful Sorgatron Media. Oh, damn it. We're trying this again. All right. Sorry, my Facebook messages are very distracting right now. I should pull the chat back up. There you guys are. Hey guys, it's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast episode 485. I'm Mike Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in the wonderful Beachview. Thank you, Time Change, that I discover when I'm on the road in some other year. With me, back in, also recovering from the time change and not yet quarantined, he is John Chichilla at Chilla on the Twitters. He is the Mr. Fancy Pants Technical Know-How at Big Bank International Esquire.
I'm just roaming the streets.
Just roaming the streets without a care. I just flew. So it was the cleanest flight I've ever been on. It smelled so nice.
So you were saying that people were wiping down?
People are wiping down everything.
Now, did you feel like it wasn't just the people wiping it down, keeping it clean? Do you feel like the airline took extra
I don't know.
care?
Well, I got an email from Southwest saying that they did, as well as an email from every one of the hotels that I belong to about how cleanly they're going to be. and no, I couldn't smell anything beyond the wipes, the Clorox wipes. So
Everything smelled like
everything
Clorox.
smelled like Clorox. So I'm just like, well, everybody wipe down around me. I feel okay. So I'm good for that.
Your nose burned of bleach.
I spent 2 days in a field with porta potties. Not scary at all, but there was plenty of hand sanitizer and stuff all around. So, but then there's finger sandwiches. So I don't know where it wins. I don't know where this stops. But either way,
just don't touch your face.
Don't touch your face. I touch my face all the time. I touched Missy's face today, just to make sure we were even. Yeah, so you can see my Twitter. There was a little bit of an exchange about that today. Anyways, it is the Awesome Cast where we talk about technology and not the things that we're afraid of today. But that's probably going to creep in there too. Actually, there is a story about it. But we're going to have some fun. And even in the midst of a pandemic, there are awesome things. But this is the AwesomeCast. Check out at awesomecast.com where you can find us. You can find this and past episodes and subscribe to us on your favorite podcatcher or on your YouTube or Facebook for video versions. You can also hit us up at AwesomeCast on the Twitter, Facebook. Again, a lot of the shows are on there, as well as the AwesomeCast Facebook group where there's a lot of stories throughout the week and a lot of conversations. So you can drop in there and be a part of that. And we use a lot of stories and conversations here in the show, and it really inspires what we do here every Tuesday. And we are here every Tuesday live on Facebook Live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and of course we are streaming on other platforms on Twitch, on Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, and you can be on any of those and watch us wherever it is. Because I know not everybody is on Facebook for one reason or another, or they can't get on their television or something like that. So of course you can check us out there every Tuesday. But the big conversation is happening in the Facebook page on the live stream. And, of course, and including, I see Brandon out in Kansas City's out there, Dave Podner, Jen Carlins, Matt Bish is hanging out there, Amanda Narcissi, our good friends, all hanging out in the chat room here tonight.
Safe in the quarantine of
Safe
their home.
in the quarantine of your homes. We can verify that watching this show or listening to it is safe for your quarantine if you're working from home or whatever the case may be. Oh, boy. Also, thank you to our awesome audio partners, our friends at 405media.com that are carrying us and streaming us every day at noon Eastern Time, and our friends at postindustrial.com, Postindustrial Audio, sharing some of the finest of podcasts over there. Again, recent episodes I got to have a hand in helping produce, giving them a hand over there while they were short a producer, I guess, for a couple weeks. Our friends at Hungry Girl Big City and the City Theater, some really good conversations going on there, including an episode with Millie's Ice Cream, who got to hang out in their offices a few weeks ago to record that. So go check out those conversations, some great podcasts that we've had a hand in helping out there a little bit. Also, that's through the Sidekick Media Services, etc., etc. Thank you to our Patreon supporters that are supporting the show. Man, it was a crazy month for Patreon between this and over on the Wrestling Mayhem show. Thank you to our supporters of the Awesome Cast, our friends at the Coffee Club level, Matt Weller, John Diggy DeGore, and John Carmen, and our friends at the Fan of the Show level, the longest running Patreon supporter, Michael Fedor, and pghmuseums.org. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting this show. It really means a lot to us, helps us keep the lights on here and the servers paid for so we can keep delivering it to you. Please go support the show if you're interested over at patreon.com/awesomecast. So let's get into our awesome things of the week. Chill, I want to go first because I had so much fun.
Yours is way more
so
awesome
I
than
was
mine.
in Florida, and usually I go around and I'm hitting wrestling shows, and I did catch a wrestling show. I actually did get to see WWE's NXT film live from Full Sail University. That's not my awesome thing, but that's my awesome thing for the other show, which was cool to see that because, I mean, it's a production school down there in Winter Park, Florida, just east of Orlando, and it was cool to see that. But I also had the opportunity, thanks to, and a shout out to my friend Ray over. You check out Flycam DFW on all your social media, YouTube. He'll have stuff on it too. But thanks to him, I got to go see the SpaceX Falcon 1, I believe that's the name, and, rocket launched. Now, this is a supply mission, and this was the last. They started, I believe, this model in 2012, and this is the last run of this rendition of it. And this is the rocket, Chilla, that lands itself. Like the first stage breaks off and it lands itself. We always see the landings on the boats that don't go well.
Yeah.
So this is fun. This was the 50th successful landing of that rocket.
You should get a pin or something.
I should get a
just
pin.
for having been there.
This is very much a where's my gold star?
Yes.
This is very much a non-monumental launch. I mean, they're going up once a month basically at this point, right? So there's that, and it's weather permitting. This was actually delayed, and this was at 11:50 on Friday night, and we were 11 miles from Cape Canaveral, or from the launch site on Cape Canaveral. We were close to Cape Canaveral. It's a big site. There's like 40 launch pads. This I didn't know. I finally looked at a map of the launch site at Cape Canaveral, and yeah, there's like they were on like 39 or 40 that they launched from on almost the northern most part of the facility. So, and I do have some video if you're with us, and if you check out we over on our my Facebook page, you can see some video. This was shot with my Panasonic, a little shaky because it's 11 miles away, and I'm zoomed in, and I'm also trying to look at this thing while it's happening, so I can actually see it with my eyes until it blinds me, because it is like looking at in the sun at this point. So you see it take off there, and you saw there were the 4 towers around it from where it was. So this was a cool thing. And then when you get up there, about part way up, you start seeing it, with a little bit of the trail and everything up there. And then at a certain point, I don't know how well this is going to come off, but you actually do see the rocket separate here. And if you're seeing it in person, and you can see a lot of that kind of waviness around it, and it becomes kind of a circle. There's a lot of kind of blueness to it, and it looks like a black hole of sorts as they're separating from it. And you can see the dot going down. That's the one separating out to land as the other one goes further up.
So, being 11 miles away, like how, if you were to compare it to being as loud as something else, like is it being at the airport and hearing a plane take off?
It was a very loud. It was as if you were. It's as if you were. This is a localized thing, but if you were at, you ever been at the Walmart in Robinson when a plane flies overhead?
Yeah,
it was like that.
Okay, so
it really was like that.
You could talk to the person next to you and they could hear.
Yeah, you can if you listen, you can hear the rumble. I don't know if you hear the rumble on the rocket landing, but that's on there too. I have separate videos. Like we have when I set up an iPhone to have that take off, and I actually cropped it in a little bit since it was a 4K shot, and it was as much as it was until it went off frame. But I also have video on there of the rocket landing. Probably not as impressive. You see it come down and everything, but you don't get to see it as clear as you saw the actual facility when the takeoff was happening on my video too. Again, this is my Panasonic, and actually this is a shot of the Panasonic that I'm using. So it's like it's a bigger camera, has a long lens to it, has a 3-chip to it, so it's a nice HD camera. So, but again, on a tripod, it was very windy, which also kind of contributed to my shakiness, other than just my excitement in general. And this is actually a video, if you guys are with us. So this is a shot of, I don't know if you saw this one yet, Chilla. This is the rocket landing itself. So, and I'm actually right beside, kind of, ironic with a lot of the news this week. This is actually right beside where the cruise lines are. Like right to the right there, those lights over there, that's where like the Disney cruises and Carnival and all of them are. And it was on the other side of the facility, so it was pretty much kind of over the horizon where it landed. But you see that for the most part coming down. So, and that was 8 minutes later. Like we waited, there's nothing.
Oh, there's like nothing.
You hear dark, there's another bit of a flash when the second stage breaks off too, but that just breaks off and burns up. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and there's just waiting, and then you just see that thing come down just mere moments before I probably hit record there on that video that's on my page. So yeah, this was a once in a lifetime, because I mean, this is my second time I've been in Florida. And this was on the other side. I was in Lakeland, Florida, probably about 45 minutes from Tampa. Came in through Orlando, so we passed, over to Orlando, all the way to the other coast. So, which was about an hour and a half drive from where we were in Lakeland.
That's not bad though.
No, that's not bad for what you get to see.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad at all.
It's not like country roads.
No, it's all highway, toll roads. 6-lane highways, things like that. So. But it was a lot of fun, a really cool experience, and just very fortunate just having that opportunity and somebody that already mapped out the entire plan. Because if I decided to go do this, who knows where I would have ended up, right? And even they said to a point where you probably could have seen it from our hotel rooms in Lakeland 2 hours away or an hour and a half away. I would have been a dot or something, but yeah.
Aliens.
It's like, what's that? You know, sit on my patio. I had a patio. Like I had to sit out on the 5th floor where I was. I had a nice Holiday Inn.
That does sound nice.
But no, definitely a really cool thing. So I got to see a SpaceX, and I was standing and we're watching a SpaceX. I don't know if it's on the video, but the guy next to us just like realizes like, I'm sitting here watching a SpaceX standing next to a Tesla. So this was a good one. Of course, the next day there was news that the spaceship prototype collapsed on itself. They were doing a stress test on it. So, I mean, it's kind of and Elon Musk apparently tweeted, well, get some tape. So, but that's part of this. I mean, there's a lot, we always see the rocket explosions and there's lots of those, but I mean, they're really kind of a startup mentality, moving fast and breaking things. It just, when they break things, it's very spectacular, right? On this flight, by the way, there were multiple things. Like we were watching a lot of the NASA feeds beforehand. We should have a tally for every time I touch my face on this show. But there was a NASA feed, and there was like, oh, there's this going up and this experiment, and Adidas shoes are going up to experiment how their shoes operate in space or something. It's like, okay, Adidas. So like, this is the point where we're like, basically companies are paying to send their stuff into space.
How much of those is that pair of shoes going to go up for auction?
I don't know, but they can say, now they can say, oh, the shoe that was in space or something when they put this thing out. So, but anyways, no, that was my fun experience with SpaceX. You can see my shaky footage over on my Facebook page. I think I put my the iPhone 1 over on my Twitter as well. At Sorgatron over there. So
you should just say it was shaky from the rumble of
yeah, it's not my hand and my keeping looking up at it, and
it was
and
so
everything.
loud.
It was loud. It was very loud. It didn't shake me, but I don't know. Maybe that's just, I don't get shaken by like drums or anything anymore like I used to. So, but
you're more sturdy than you used to be.
I'm sturdier than I used to be. It's a good term for it. Chilla, what is your more grounded, awesome thing of the week?
So mine is so grounded you plug it into a TV.
What?
So we've talked about this on the show before, and I know we don't like to necessarily talk about what may not be coming out, but I was so excited when I saw this, I couldn't not talk about it. So we've talked about Chromecast before, and my pain points with Chromecast, where like I want something that's kind of self-sufficient. I don't have to cast to it and worry, I leave the room or leave the house. Like I want something that I turn on, I have control over. I don't have to worry about having another device to have there to kind of kick things off. 9 to 5 Google announced an exclusive that Google plans the new Chromecast Ultra to be based on Android TV with a remote. So they're saying that, in fact, the remote passed through the FCC today. And we know we have Google I/O coming up.
I mean, so this is going to be. We're basically looking at not that it's a stick. I mean, the ultras that we see are the circle with the.
It's still a circle.
It's still a circle. With the plug coming off of it for the HDMI. But we're talking about basically an Android TV equivalent of a Fire TV stick. Is that right?
That's what I'm reading. So YouTube TV, Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu. All of the apps that you would be able to get on Android, you will now potentially have on the Chromecast.
Okay. Makes sense. I
like that.
Along
with, and they compared the controller to like the Daydream View remote or an Apple TV remote.
Another thing that's not around anymore.
Yeah. And then maybe that's what they're doing with all those old remotes. They're now just bundling them with Chromecast.
Hey, Stu, all these are laying around. What are we going to do with them? Hey, what are we doing with those new Chromecasts? Well.
But they're saying that the remote has a microphone, a dedicated Google Assistant button, and it'll also be programmable to your TV.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're familiar with like the Apple TV controller, you tell Apple TV what other components you have, and when you hit the on button, it turns
right.
the TV and the receiver or whatever devices you have on. They're saying it will work much like the same. So I'm super interested in this. I'm hoping they keep the price somewhat comparable to the existing devices. It will support 4K content and the typical Chromecast, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
So
awesome.
To me, it's exciting, and I hope we see this soon.
It'd be nice to see that just for like I like having multiple platforms. I've been playing a little bit with my old Fire Stick, but if it's something that is still as affordable as a Chromecast, we're talking like $35-$40. I don't need a 4K one, but I imagine it'll probably be 4K. But it'd be nice to upgrade because I have an original and the second Chromecast between here and home, and it's nice to have them on hand. Whether you're traveling and can throw them in a TV or just having them around the studio, the office, things like that, to be just like, oh, I'll just kick this over here, right? So, no, I like those, and I love, and there's different Android apps, right, that you can use. So if that has that ability and it's a little newer, so it'll be a little faster, I think that'd be cool. Amanda's in the chat room asking how well will it interact with Google Backup, like when you take a pic of your Pixel, can you see it on your Chromecast? I believe so. If you're doing an Android TV thing, that should have some Google Photos capabilities in it, right?
I'm guessing you could even say, okay,
yeah,
show me my recent photos.
Yeah.
It should be able to go out and.
I mean, you can already kind of do that with Chromecast, can't you?
Yep.
Like
I think. I know I can at least cast from my phone.
Okay. I had a fun thing. Sorry. I happened to be, so you gave me that big monitor, so I have nice speakers now when I'm listening to something here in the office. And so this is a cinema display, like an older cinema display. It basically feels like a nice the last model iMac, not the new thin ones, and it has the nice speakers in it, right? I was listening to This Week in Google, and every time they said Google, it's the Google Home is right above it on the shelf, and it kept setting it off, and they kept saying, "Hey G," and they were referencing, "Hey Google, what if you said, hey, what is my car doing? What's the RPMs on my car?" Like it was some kind of attachment that was happening there, and it kept kicking it off. In the home was like, "Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't do that," but it was setting it off. So good thing I didn't have that set up. So
I'm wondering,
they usually mute those things in there. Like when you say A-Train, they do.
And then like on TV commercials, there's a special tone that we can't hear.
I saw one. Have you had one where a TV commercial will be playing, say, "Hey, A-Train"? Like, because one time I'm watching TV and the echo is in the living room, and it's off from the TV, but on that side of the room, and I saw it light up, but it didn't respond.
It didn't respond,
but it did hear and start up.
Huh? I have never noticed that. Now we've moved to the Show 5.
It's a dot. It's a new dot.
But the Show 5 has like the more like 5-inch screen, and it doesn't to me have the light that you would normally get around the top. It's
right.
It's like a small banner on the LCD that comes up and waves back and forth, so you can't really see it
kind of like
as well as like
the Auto
dot.
has that. It's the kit back and forth, right?
Yeah.
The Knight Rider look to it, the blue Knight Rider to it. So,
but I'll tell you what was setting ours off was we left the Home Shopping Network on, and they were selling like home automation, and they were they were selling all three. So, like, I actually at one point in time, I think like throughout the evening they set off all three.
Because they're saying, "Hey, this works on this works on this," right? Wow, it's becoming more persistent, right? Well, anyways, hey, you know what? Also, I can't ask my A-Train to get me yet, and I know you can with some places, but we need to get the upgrade. We need to talk to our friends at Slice on Broadway right here in Pittsburgh. I'm sure there's some way. Actually, there probably is some way for us to order it through Echo or Google or something we can connect through Grubhub or something. Now I think about it, but hey, let's experiment with it. That's your homework for next week, Chilla. How do I order my Slice on Broadway through voice activation? Probably, I'd imagine. Yeah, again, if you can connect Grubhub to it, maybe. Supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza, Beachview, Carnegie, East End, PNC Park, right up the street. Our good friends here in Beachview have been supporting this podcast for the majority of its 10 years in existence, feeding our guests here. Chilla gets a taste of Beachview. He may be checking out some other taste of Beachview when he walks in, but he's still got to get that slice as well, and our good friends throughout the evening here. Even the show after this, our unfortunately we get our pizza before this show, so it's rather cold by then. And we ordered some slice when we were doing a video game night a couple weeks ago, and he was very excited. He's like, "I finally get to have warm slice on Broadway. It's even better." So
you need to find like one of those old. Who was it? Who had the heating bags? Like, was it Domino's or Pizza Hut?
Why don't you just get a heating bag? I mean, we could just, I don't know, put it on a heater or something.
Yeah, you need like one of those bags that you can plug in.
There you go.
Like the delivery people. I can't. Who there was a deliver. I don't know if it was Papa John's. It was somebody had.
I don't know. So let's stop naming other pizza places during the slice spot, because they're not Slice on Broadway here supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. So who are they? But no, thank you to our friends there, and thank you to them for supporting the AwesomeCast. Amanda is in the chat room. This is what I love. We're at that point where the chat room answers all of our questions for us. So Amanda's saying Siri shortcut. You can customize the pizza place it calls. There you go. Slam through the door like Otis in the chamber match. That's the wrong show, Dave. That's for later. We'll talk about that. He's a top
fan. He could say what he wants.
He is a top fan, yes, but that's referencing a different show. So, anyways, it is time to check in with our buddy at thegamejourney.com. Of course, Chachi got slapped on the ass by a wrestler this weekend. So he had a fun one, but he's also, when he's not getting fresh with the wrestlers or they're getting fresh with him, he's also going through 1001 games. He's up to Yoshi Touch and Go. So this is stuff that Yoshi Touch and Go, also not cool in today's day and age. Don't touch your Yoshi, kids. But yeah, he's deep into the Nintendo DS, Legend of Zelda, Oracle Seasons and Ages. Things like that, Mario Golf. I have a DS that I got like a while ago, and I have like 3 games for it. So this is not an era that I'm familiar with. Were you a DS guy?
I went from Game Boy to Game Gear.
Well, no, still, that's where the DS is like the mid 2000s.
I never got the DS.
No.
My buddy had the TurboGrafx 16 portable.
Oh yeah,
they played the full cartridge.
Yes.
Always no, I never had the DS, and I never had a Game Boy Advanced either.
I got one eventually. Again, like late after everything was through, I got that Advanced. But the thing I love about the Advanced is you can play the original carts on it still. So in the DS, you can play the Advanced carts on it. It's a little bigger screen. So, never had a 3DS. I should probably pick up a 3DS sooner or later and start playing with that, pick up some old games.
I did pick up an old Vita.
Still rocking your old Vita?
I play that on occasion.
Yeah. Is it the I forget, is it the newer Vita or is it the like old ones that still
It's not
take
the
the
PSP.
Discs? It's not the
The Vita.
The Vita.
So the PSP had like the game disc.
There's a PlayStation Portable, but then there was a PSP Vita, correct?
Yeah, I have the Vita.
You have the later one.
It has more of like an SD card.
And it's more digital based.
Memory game.
Yeah.
I picked it up. I picked it up because I wanted to remote play my PlayStation 4. And it did not work that well. But then GameStop had like a ton of $5 games. So I'm like, oh, I'll pick this up. And now it's just like, it's sitting there. And in fact, I also got some games that are like the $3 to $5 indie games on my PlayStation.
That's where Sony was always really good about the indie games, weren't they?
Like I got some $3 to $5 indie games that Christopher liked to play. And they actually were cross play, so I could play them on the Vita and on the PlayStation. So that's another fun thing.
Awesome. Let's see what else we got here. We got a little bit of stories from our AwesomeCast Facebook group. Thank you everybody for contributing over there. And let me see if there's a video game one. No. Okay, let's start with the fun one. Brian Crawford, our good friend at pghmuseums.org, shared this one. And I need to get the other site here. I need to get the one that actually has the video and stuff. How about a dog collar that turns your dog's barks into cuss words?
Is it like on a screen?
No. It's one of those. It's a dog collar, and it has a speaker on it. Here, we'll pull up a video here. And it's just when it detects a bark, it says a swear word.
You would think that would just cause an endless loop of bark, swear, bark, swear, bark, swear.
You would think, right? Yeah, so no, what it's probably doing is detecting noise from the dog, and it just spouts out a swear word, right? But there's a fun video. And so apparently this company, MSCHF, this is a weird freaking name. Mischief. Oh, thank you. They make novelty items, basically. This is a $60 thing, and even the video that they wow, the website is very strange.
What
did you see? Did you click the corner?
Yeah,
So this website comes up and it's all like this giant text, and I feel like I'm getting hacked. I bet these are products. I'm going to click on Jesus Suits. Customized
but look down,
Nike.
it's like a bunch of dates. Oh, are they the dates?
I think these are releases of their. So customized Nike Air Max 97s with 60 cc of holy water from the River Jordan and the Soul. And there's a list of late nights with Seth Meyers. I guess these are places that they were featured. So yeah, they basically, this company makes viral novelty items that you can purchase. And including the Jesus shoes and the bark. Oh yeah, the dates are probably like stuff that's coming out. It's like they have an item a month, it looks like, or a couple a month. Wow, this is weird. This is an interesting place. But no, you can get that. It's they're selling it for $60 apparently, and I kind of I want to get one for my mom for her dogs. So, but no, there you go. Cuss collar. That was contributed by, Brian, I already said that. Let's see. The Twitter is testing, Amanda submits, Twitter is testing a Instagram stories-like function called Fleets. That will expire after 24 hours of the tweet. Are you ready for this?
You know what I would like this for? People that are running like contests.
Yeah, so you don't junk up your feed after that.
So my feed, like, hey, this is the next 10 people will, if they respond to this, be put into a thing for a whatever code. This, I think this is, I mean, not just where I want something that I don't want to be around forever. I like this idea.
So they started in Brazil, starting that test on iOS and Android. And most of this is in Brazilian, so I can't really keep up with it. But anyways, yeah, it's gonna be. You actually have a button for fleets. It posts. It's a more visual kind of thing. It looks like, and I think it's gonna pop up from what I can tell in your feed, and yeah, it will disappear in like 24 hours.
The fleet video must be using fleets because it says this media is no longer available.
And it's Oh, really? On yours?
I have just
it on
finally
mine.
Came up.
Interesting. So and if you can check the visual at the top, looks like I'm guessing this is going to be a tab in Twitter, much like your search and everything and day of and everything. And there's kind of what you're familiar with the circles across the top of people's faces when there's fleets, I guess. So yeah.
Rosando.
Amanda says that we stumbled on the dark web with that other website, I think. So it's another, I'm sure it'll do fine for people that live in Twitter, but man, I can't. They're getting too complicated. Somebody asked me, how do I post on Instagram? And I know this person is already interacting on Instagram for their account, And it was literally, oh, just hit the plus at the bottom. Then I realized there's a lot more than the plus at the bottom of Instagram now.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just too much functionality when it used to be simple, right? Just like, how do I tweet? Hit the tweet button. Which one's the tweet button? Like that's the question we have to ask now in these things. But I mean, that's everything. Everything starts as a simple function. They just keep adding on.
Well, they need to keep growing.
They got to keep growing. And then it turns into, I mean, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook have such familiar or similar functionality across the board now, right? So thanks, Amanda, for passing that along. And then both Podner and Steve sent this one along. Man, so, and if I can click on it, maybe I don't want to click on this. And by the way, this has click-through links. Don't click on them, Chilla. If you're, well, I shouldn't because I'm live here on the internet.
You can't see my screen. I can click on whatever I want.
I don't think I want to put the image. I can't put the image up. We're just going to talk about coronavirus porn is going viral on Pornhub. Because of course it is. This is not one of the safe for work stories. Yeah, there's a lot of body cam CDC agent based investigation, and I think you can guess what comes next. So, because of course, everything in the world, there's porn for it, and welcome everybody. Just jumped in the chat room at that point. So, thank you again, Dave, Podner, and Steve from Bold Sports for sharing that too. You guys, again, please share your stories throughout the week over to the AwesomeCast Facebook page, and we will awkwardly talk about them too. So, give a shout out. Hey guys, I mentioned some of the stuff we were doing at the beginning of the show with some other podcasts. That's through our sister company here with Sidekick Media Services, helping you be the sidekick in your superhero project, doing a lot of things like podcasts, like this trip. I was in Florida, not just to go see Rockets, but also to film some collegiate competitions with some great experimental model planes with Lockheed Martin and SAE International down there for Aero Design East. And that's part of Sidekick Media Service. A lot of business productions and services that we're offering over there, housed right here conveniently in Sorgatron Media Studios in Beachview. Go check out what we've been up to over at sidekickmediaservices.com. Follow us on the social media. We're on most major social media platforms to see what we've been up to and what we can help with you in your superhero project. Thank you so much for everybody that has been getting a hold of us. We have had some very interesting projects come across our desk in the last month, and very excited to be working with all of them. So let's get into the back of the book stories here, Chilla. What do you want to hit up first?
You want me to pick one of mine, or so I'll be honest with you. I was super impressed with the Nintendo PlayStation price that thing went for.
Did you get to touch it?
I did when it was at Replay FX. Mm-hmm. I did get to touch it, and I got to look at the cartridges and
real quick recap. This is the Sony PlayStation prototype, the famous one that's been talked about for the last several years that was found at an auction. And this is Sony was initially supposed to work with Nintendo to create a CD add-on collaboration thing, much like how Sega CD happened and things like that, and then they broke apart, didn't do it. N64 happened, Sony took all the technology, and it became the Sony PlayStation. Why didn't I even have a picture of it? Here's a picture of it for you guys that are joining us here on video. So this was actually doing kind of a world tour when they found it, and they was here with Replay FX.
So was it this? There's only one?
There is only one that anybody knows about.
One.
We saw pictures of this in Nintendo Power back in the day. And that's the only reason we know what this is, other than it says Sony PlayStation. It has a Nintendo controller and cartridge slot, right? And Famicom, to be clear, is more of a Japanese model here. So this is the only known one in existence publicly. And like I said, I was doing the tour. They had a game that was on it that wasn't even, like, no games were produced for this, right? It didn't really work. Nothing was made in a CD format for a Nintendo hardware like this. You couldn't put a Sony PlayStation game in because that was a different development, different hardware than what this is. Because this was
they had like 6 cartridges there, I think.
Yes, but they were, I believe,
like prototype games.
They were prototype games, and they were indie games that they formatted to work on it through the Super Nintendo part of it.
Okay.
So you could play Super Nintendo games on this, because that part just worked like a Super Nintendo. But the CD part, which I think didn't even work, and they were trying to fix it. But again, how far can you get? Because there are no, quote, Super Nintendo CD games in existence. So, excuse me. Chilla, I know you were checking the story. Can you hit the details there real quick?
So, and it does confirm there were 200 of these made. And when the deal fell through, they destroyed 199 of them. This is the last.
Somebody stuck one in their backpack.
Yeah. The two video game giants announced 91 they would work together, but only produced 200 before the deal fell through. The other 199 prototypes purported to exist were allegedly destroyed when the partnership between Nintendo and
Maybe
Sony.
they're actually buried
They're probably
in the
somebody's
desert.
basement.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
199 of them
somewhere. But again, they were development models and things. Maybe these are going to go. They were probably going to go out to developers, right? Mm-hmm. And didn't. But either way, got to touch it. I was surprised because it was there, and we were just like looking at it, and the guy's like, "You want to touch it?" And he took it out of the case and let us hold it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
They were letting people play on it.
Yeah, they were letting people play on it, but it was still under a glass case.
Mm-hmm.
And he just like took it out of the case and like I think Chachi was with me. I'm just like, oh God, I'm touching it. So when this came out, it went for $360,000. Was that? Which actually people kind of thought it was going to go for more. A fellow game collector, Greg McLemore. Yes. Just like the artist. He's the guy that founded pets.com and toys.com during the .com boom, of course. He is going to use it apparently to start a video game museum, so I can go see it again someday. That's cool.
He outbid the
Palmer
Oculus
Luckey.
VR
Yep.
founder.
I love there's a tweet in here from I'm currently the highest bidder on this. Who are the other nutters who keep bidding against me? So from somewhere during that auction. So no, that's cool. And if we can evoke the Indiana Jones, this belongs in a museum, and I'm happy that it's getting there because it's part of history. Mm-hmm. It really is, one way or another. And it's cool. It's not just on some rich guy's shelf, and who knows what Palmer Luckey was going to do with it. So it's going to be on some rich guy's shelf, probably, right? Anyways. So there's that part of it. You were kind of impressed. Some iOS 14 stuff keeps leaking in iOS 13 betas. It seems.
I don't remember this ever happening before, which is it's catching me completely off guard, especially because we're still 3 months away from like a WWDC.
Mm-hmm.
But people I understand when people find code about like the next model number for the iPad, or like the next something that's coming out in the next month.
Yeah.
But you figure iOS 14 isn't going to ship beta until the beginning of June, depending on what we do with WWDC.
Right.
And then we're not going to see a final shipment until September, when the next phone ships.
So we're talking
but
about
we're already seeing.
Yeah, so and this is people are basically reverse engineering pieces of code in the betas.
In the
right?
iOS 13 betas.
Yes, and this is something that typically happens in the betas for 13 to 14, 12 to 13, when the hardware has not come out yet. You'll see references to things and functionality that would be in let's say the iPhone 11 before we knew that there were going to be 3 lenses. Maybe there was a reference to it, right? About like the functionality that would lead to. And we're getting stories about, and I didn't even read the story. There was something about new hardware. Because again, I don't read these stories. I know you get more into them. Like there was some allusions to new hardware and things like that, right?
Well, they're saying for the iPad Pro, it's going to have the keyboard with a trackpad.
Yes, and the mouse and more mouse functionality.
Yeah, there's going to be more cursor support. The one that I thought was interesting was they're starting to see in the code under the accessibility feature functions.
Mm-hmm.
It will be able to detect important sounds like fire alarms, sirens, door knocks, doorbells, even crying babies, and then translate those alerts into haptic feedback. Or I know people that are deaf or hard of hearing, and they have their custom vibration alerts for certain people, so they know when their phone's in their pocket. We think of it as a custom ringtone.
Mm-hmm.
They do custom feedback, like the haptic.
Yeah.
And then also, they use the flash or flashlight flashes when the phone's ringing.
Yeah.
This is another thing where you could actually do, based on what it's hearing around you, fire alarms and sirens. I think that's awesome.
Partner's saying that he's looking forward to this. The 3 cameras with time of flight sensor is exciting.
That's exciting. I was in some of the other ones that are a little more wallpaper. So if you remember, like, if you go into your wallpaper settings, they have the dynamic and the stills and the live categories.
Mm-hmm.
They're now going to allow developers to put wallpaper packages in there. I've heard, we're going to get a pencil kit, like we have home kit and the different kits, Siri kit. They'll have a pencil kit to add additional feature functionality, as well as the search. When you kind of swipe down, and I don't know what your organizational skills are like on your phone, mine are horrible. So I find myself, when I'm looking for an app, a lot of times I just swipe down and start typing the name of the app to launch it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be able to, in that view, that search view, you'll be able to sort by recently installed apps, the apps with the most amounts of pending notifications, things of that nature. So
more context.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. And I just feel like it's way too early for them.
We shouldn't have this.
We
yet.
shouldn't have.
And also, these are things that are alluded to may not make the final iOS 14.
But even when they don't make the final 14, like when they make the final rev, they make like the .1 release.
Yeah,
that's
they might have
usually
them.
out by Christmas. Like,
Right.
remember FaceTime? Like they didn't have. I think that was one of the things they didn't have.
Yeah, it came in like a
launch,
0.1, 0.2 later.
Like
Yeah.
Point release. So you don't have to wait a whole nother year. Unless you're waiting for iMessage on multiple platforms, which you're going to be waiting a long time for.
That'll be something else.
That was a Steve Jobs thing. Like, he claimed that it was going to come out, and it never did.
Yeah. Back to Nintendo for a second. Reggie Fils-Aimé. Am I saying that right? Reggie. Nintendo Reggie. That was the Nintendo of America president. And we loved him for so many years. He's gone to the dark side, Chilla. He's joined the board. He's joined as not the board. He's joined as
the Borg.
No, what?
I'm kidding.
He's joined GameStop's board. GameStop, the physical store.
But what does that actually mean?
That means, well, he is a visionary that helped Nintendo of America, right? And now you got GameStop that's been flailing for years at this point, trying to figure things out. And then he's going to be on GameStop, and maybe he could help reinvent. He can help reinvent.
He's going to help bring back physical media.
We have
the virus has landed.
This just in. We have right here some Corona antidote right here in the studio. Producer Missy has brought us. Apparently, I don't know. Wait, is this bad or is it the antidote? Are we getting ourselves vaccinated with this? Sure. That's what we're doing. This is our no fear.
It's like the chicken pox party.
Is this how we're getting through the Mayhem show later? Yes, apparently. All right, we're just gonna put that over there so I don't get in trouble with that right now. And oh boy, we do have a beer distributor right up the street, don't we? Thank you for that, Producer Missy.
But I feel like is he gonna bring back physical media? Like how is that gonna work?
No, well, I don't think it's a matter of bringing back physical media. It's a matter of what can these stores do. There's plenty of.
I'll tell you what, the GameStops that have the retro section, that's pretty cool. You know what would be a great first step to not making GameStop feel like crap? When I walk into GameStop and it doesn't feel like a teenager's closet.
I mean, you're getting that view that too, right? I mean, it's just like there's just stuff everywhere, and half of it's toys and collectibles and pops, right? And stacks of old games, and it's not a pleasant experience. I think there's a lot of opportunity where, like, the Apple Store has become a destination for Apple things. Why can't a video game store be a destination for video game things, not just, you know, in a different manner?
He's gonna bring back the arcade.
If GameStop's become like a, you know, why can't a GameStop become a partial looking for group?
That would be interesting.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, maybe make sure the kiosk works all the time. I don't know. It's little stuff like that. Somebody was bemoaning the fact that, because, you know, being down there, they're like, hey, you need to visit the Last Think Geek store. I'm like, what do you mean Last Think Geek store? There was 2 of them in Orlando, one by one of the colleges, and there was another one that was right beside a GameStop, or maybe the one that was closed was right beside a GameStop. And they explained to me, I touched my face again. They explained to me, yeah, so like they bought them, and then, you know, after they integrated all that crap into GameStop, they started kind of, Think Geek started going away. They weren't doing very well, and they started closing the actual physical stores. And ThinkGeek mostly has been a .com, right? That we think about it. We ordered the stuff on ThinkGeek, and they always had fun items. But they really kind of got disseminated when they got absorbed by GameStop. So it's still a cool store that has a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I didn't get an opportunity to get back to Orlando to check it out. I was too busy chasing rockets. Yeah, bring back Radio Shack. There you go. Give me my diode and cord store, guys. Exactly. But I don't know. So yeah, that's. I think there is an opportunity for a radical change to those spaces to make them worthwhile. I can't tell you what that is, other than those kind of. I mean, this guy's the thought leader. Hopefully he comes up with something, and people listen to him. Otherwise, they wish they shouldn't have hired him, right? So, if anybody can do it, I believe in Reggie. But anyways, hopefully, maybe there'll be a Muppet Reggie again in our future. Do you remember Muppet Reggie?
No.
The one Nintendo Direct where all of the execs were Muppets
when they
were announcing games. For some, I don't know why they did it. Just everybody was a Muppet.
Wasn't there some other Mario announcement today?
Well, it's Mario Day, and Mario Kart went multiplayer. Opened up. Was that it?
No, it was some kind of crossover.
Something else?
Oh, there's gonna be Mario Legos.
Mario Legos.
I saw an announcement. I think it might have been on Twitter. It was like I think it was promoted by Lego. And it was like the coin box was kind of flipping. So I'm wondering what we're going to see. That's a TV show you have to watch.
What?
Lego Masters.
Oh, Lego Masters. That does look like fun. That looks like fun. No, we're basically living Lego Masters over on Wrestling Mayhem show. And I haven't done a Monday show in a couple weeks because reasons. Illness and tiredness. But part of it, it's a wrestling show, but it's really just Mike and I catching up. And he completed an entire Hogwarts set. It was something like 6,000 pieces or something. No, I think it's more than that. It was 4 books of instructions.
Wow.
And it's huge. It's huge.
Does it do the thing where you can like point your phone at it and it comes to life?
I don't know. I don't know about that part.
You should have him do that.
We'll have to inquire about that. But no, it's been a fun thing to see him build it. He'll like kind of hold it up, and now he's working on some adventure stuff. So, yeah, he has a few sets.
I have Tony Stark's all the Iron Man with the Hall.
Okay, the Hall of Iron Man from like Iron Man 3. Yeah,
I have that Lego set, and we have some. I'll tell you what's cool. The Minecraft ones. I didn't realize because I don't think they show it, at least on some of the original boxes. But if you get a couple of the Minecraft sets, in the back of the instruction manual, it shows you how they actually can all join together. So you build the Minecraft sets,
you're building a giant Minecraft.
You're building a giant Minecraft area.
Nice.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Nice. I like it. I remember old sets that we used to do that. Like Hot Wheels and things like that. Modern Warfare has a Tamagotchi that's hungry for kills.
I saw that, but I have to pay for it.
Yeah, it's another $10 to get it. But
I'm earning some coins. Like I've been playing for a couple weeks now, and I think I have like 400 coins. Most of those things range from 1,000 to 2,000.
I'm mostly doing mobile because it has the old hijacked in Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1. maps that
What's
I love.
the map where it's really small and it's a bunch of container crates?
Container crates. I'm not sure.
It's a very small area. There's kind of like,
Which game are you from?
I think it's a modern warfare.
Okay.
And there's like container crates stacked, and it's like a.
Oh yeah, that's from 3. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's like a dock, and it has a bunch of those.
That's in the new.
It's in the new Modern Warfare.
One.
So not only that, Modern Warfare people that have that apparently got early access to this, but it's also rolling out free to everybody else. But there is a Modern Warfare. Oh crap! What was the name of it? It was just Warzone.
Warzone.
I signed up for it, and hopefully it's downloading on my Xbox One at home.
Yeah,
right
it
now.
launched for Warfare owners at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then it launched for new players at 3 p.m. What I'm interested in
So they gave everybody
seeing,
a whole 4 hours if you purchased the game before. That's interesting.
What I'm interested in seeing is they're saying it supports cross progression with Modern Warfare.
Huh.
And you can carry your unlocks.
So as you build your progression and level up your character in Modern Warfare, that carries over to this and vice versa.
Which I find interesting because when you think of when I think of Fortnite, right? Everyone's on a pretty level playing field.
Yes.
Like skins don't get you anything, and
Yes.
the weapons are all the same.
Yes. I think bags may give you some capacity,
Yeah.
but that's about it.
But this is going to give me, I'll have more weapons than
But
new
are
player.
you purchasing all the weapons and everything,
I'm
or
in
are
Modern
you
Warfare?
in Modern Warfare? Is that how it works?
No.
No. Are you paying money to get these upgrades, or is it just by playing this game?
It's like the old school. You
yeah.
get to level 2, and I can finally get
This is just
like,
another way to level up. It's just an additional
Yeah.
way. Instead of putting time just into all these modes, you have another mode to apply to that.
Yeah, but I guess I feel like when I think of like Apex Legends and when I think of Fortnite, the playing field's always
Well,
level.
that's those games. Call of Duty does not work that way. That's why I get owned every freaking time I drop into a new game.
But I feel like this breaks the rules for like the.
No, it's adding because that's the game for Apex and Fortnite.
But those are like the
This is
original battle
still-
royales,
Right. So you're taking those rules for multiplayer for Call of Duty, which are you level up. I don't have all my unlocks. I don't have all my attachments. I don't have all to my gun and the multiple guns and this update and score streaks. So, I mean, the other ones don't have score streaks, right? I'm getting real at Call of Duty because I really just kind of got back into it. I went like 3 or 4 game releases straight on Call of Duty and fell out of it on the 360. Stupid Ghosts ruined everybody. But anyways, I mean, that's how Call of Duty is, but they're just adding a battle royal mode on that layer, right? So think about it that way. Not that this is a Fortniting of Call of Duty. This is a Call of Duty
83 to 101 gig download.
Yes. I was thinking about dropping it. Well, it's not even compatible with my Mac. I was like, come on, GeForce. Come on, Blizzard Activision. Please support GeForce again so I can just play this game on any of my PC Macs. Anyways, GeForce. GeForce is driving us. Hey, everybody's dropping off of GeForce, but Ubisoft and Epic have pledged their support for GeForce Now, and Tim Sweeney of Epic is actually pleading with publishers to get on GeForce Now. So right now, the next game I was going to play, Borderlands Enhanced Edition, is no longer on it. Thank you, 2K Games, for dropping off. Also,
do they say why they're dropping off?
It's deals or whatever. They're not. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them. But either way, it's like it's another place. It's another reason for me to buy your game and play it on PC. It opens that up. I don't get it, right? And Nvidia, at least at this point, is not making any money. Other than, well, right now nobody's paying money, but in 3 months I'll be paying $5 a month for it. Mm-hmm. Not if I beat Arkham Origins and I have nothing else to play. So, I'm playing a late 360 game on this thing. That's what I'm doing with this. But anyways, who knows? Okay, at that point, hey, Chilla, at Chilla on the Twitter, chillatech.net.
Chilla something
579 on
579
Instagram and stuff. Want to give a shout out, friend of the show. If people saw the public announcement, our good friend Dutters just had an announcement about what's going on in her life over there on her Instagram, Kate Marie PGH and everything. So just want to send some AwesomeCast love out to her. So you can read up on that, but just want to put that out there right now because I know you guys haven't seen her on the show for a few weeks. So I mean, she's going through some stuff, and just want to kind of put a vote of support out to her for that, and yeah. So please go check that out if you want to read up on what's going on with her, Kate Marie PGH on the Instagram. And check out her badass pictures. Katie does things the Katie way.
Yes.
Where I have bad news, but guess what? And I believe the term is bounty hunter unicorn right now. So go check that out. And of course, that's not the last of what she's going to be doing around that as well. Because, of course, Dutters is multimedia in everything she does in life, as a lot of us here on the AwesomeCast. So appreciate that, and please go check out what's going on with her there. So at Sorgatron on Twitter, thank you, producer Missy, for getting us, make sure we're safe from the coronavirus by preloading us with some Corona. And I guess I didn't say that out loud on audio, so sorry about that, podcasters. But yeah, I got a 6-pack of Corona here, ready for the Wrestling Mayhem show. Thank you, everybody that's been joining us in the chat room all night long. We'll be back next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the Facebook Live and other streaming platforms if you want to join us there. And please subscribe, rate, review us, and if you like what's going on here, share it on Twitter, share it on your social media, LinkedIn, wherever that case may be, and help spread the awesome. Thank you guys so much. You've been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week.